Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Hey guys, welcome back or welcome to my channel. So for today's video we are doing, I believe it's episode 2 of reading my anticipated reads of 2025. And yes, we're at the end of the year, but ignore it. So I have 3 books here that I'm super excited to get to. So as you can see, we have Love Arranged by Lauren Asher. This is the 3rd and final book in the Lakefront Billionaires series, and this is Lorenzo and Lily's book, and I'm just like, I'm here for it, I'm ready. You can also tell that this is going to be the first book we're reading. I will be reading it on my Kindle though, the same as all these books, but yeah, I'm excited to get to this one. I then have Rewind It Back by Liz Tomford, which is Rio's story. How have I not done it yet? I don't know how I've survived this long without already picking this book up, but we're doing it. We're doing it. I'm here for it. This will probably be the 2nd book we pick up. And then our 3rd and final book is King of Envy by Anna Huang. And this is Vuk's and Anya's story. I'm not even going to try with the sentence. I mean, I think I get Vuk wrong as well, but like, but yeah, I'm excited to get to this one as well because we've seen little bits of him, and I think possibly we've seen a little bit of Anya, but I can't remember. But yeah, these are the 3 books for today's video, and I'm so excited. Like I said, I'm starting off with Love Arranged. I loved the first 2 books. Love Unwritten, I devoured that book in a day. In one day, that book was done and dusted. Like, I was obsessed with that story, and I'm hoping this book is going to be no different. I'm super excited to get to it. So yeah, this is the first book we are going to be picking up for this video. We got some chunkers. I have a feeling, obviously I think this one's going to be a quick read if it's anything like Love Unwritten. Liz Tomford stuff I tend to fly through as well. The question one is going to be this one because King of Sloth, which was the book before this, we're not going to talk about it. We're not going to go into details. So interesting, but I'm excited for this story, and I think these characters are going to be interesting, and we hope and we pray. But yes, these are our 3 books for this video, and let's get going, guys. We can do this. I started Love Arranged last night. I'm already on chapter 14, 162 here on my Kindle, 32%. Your girl's flying through this book, okay? I'm flying through it. I am loving their story. And we've had their backstory, we've had their little bit of history, and I'm like, okay, like, why? Do you know what I mean? Like, why? Like, Lorenzo, dude, come on, you could have saved yourself a year of misery. You could have saved Lily a year of misery. But no. There is still, I think, a bit more to it, especially from Lorenzo's point of view. I think there's still a little bit more. We've got quite a bit, but I think there's just some deeper layers that I'm intrigued to get to and explore, and I think that's going to be interesting. There's a few things that have been kind of alluded to, in a sense, a little bit of his history, like his childhood and stuff. So I'm intrigued to dive a little bit deeper into that one because I think that's gonna reveal a few more things for us about him as a person. We know obviously a little bit about his family and why there is some uncertainty around him because, you know, he is running for mayor of their little town, and so far the dude's struggling, you know, struggling. Obviously I don't want to spoil anything, but yeah, it's like, it's entertaining to see and to learn the history behind it. So some of this does coincide with the first 2 books, so obviously we're seeing it from scenes that we've already seen, we're seeing it from other perspectives and things, and yeah, it's entertaining to see the least. But I am very much enjoying it. Lily, bless her soul, Lily. Okay, this girl, from when we know to this, just I can't wait for her to get her spark back because she deserves to have her spark back. This girl, from the sounds of it, has been through enough. She's going through more now, and I want her to get that spark back in her, and I'm hoping obviously Lorenzo's going to help with that. naturally. This is fake dating, fake engagement, but yeah, I really just want that. And obviously I know naturally there's going to be some form of third act breakup, and I'm stressing about it already. Like, I'm not even halfway and I'm already stressing about what that's going to be, because I'm just like, it could go in so many ways and I'm not here for it for whatever it is, because it could go in so many ways and it's stressing me out. But I'm enjoying the book and I'm loving it, and like I said, I'm flying for it. For today, for me, I have got to go to my grandparents today because there's been some schedule changes in that this week, so I'm gonna go to them today. I'm there for most of the afternoon, then I'm gonna come back, and I'm undecided if I'm gonna do sprints or not. It's Wednesday, so normally I do sprints on TikTok on a Wednesday. I did do some last night, so I'm undecided if I want to do that or not, or if I might pop onto Discord and do sprints. I don't know. I do need to edit a video. I need to edit my October wrap up so I can then get filming my November wrap up and get that started. So I think that needs to be a priority for me. So yeah, I'm undecided right now what I want to do, so I'm going to figure out during the day and I'll let you know when I come back. I will take this with me in the off chance I get like 5 minutes or so where I can pick the book up and read a chapter or two, but hopefully I will devour most of it tonight, because I was awake until like 1 o'clock this morning reading. So yeah, I will hopefully devour a lot more of it tonight. If I can do like another chunk the same as last night, I could get fish, you know. Anywho, optimism, I'm gonna move on from it. But yeah, so that's kind of the plans, that's where I'm up to in that book, and I will let you guys know later what happens and what I've decided to do. Yes, they did not go as planned, but I did still manage to read a chunk of Love Arranged in the evening. I'm now on chapter 36, page 246. Like, I've read a decent amount. Hopefully gonna finish it today, she says, but she also has a lot to do today, which is great. But yeah, I'm really loving it, and like the tension and the chemistry between them is, I'm just so ready for it. I'm so ready, because it's like, it snapped a little bit, but like I'm waiting for the big snap, you know. But Lorenzo is finally starting to come around to some ideas a little bit, you know, starting to kind of accept some feelings and emotions. And Lily has reached a point where she's like, you know what, I'm gonna rub shit in your face, and if you don't like it, figure it out. I'm trying not to spoil anything, as you can tell. So yeah, I've really loving it, and it's just flowing so quickly. There's just something about Lauren Ash's writing that just flows, and you just like go. Like once you started, you just go. But I did have to put it down last night. I would have continued reading, but I've got a long morning this morning. It's just gone 8:10, so this update's staying quick. But yeah, once you get started, you just kind of go and you just flow through it, and yeah, I'm obsessed. So I hope, fingers crossed, I'm going to finish this tonight, which, you know, it would have been done already if my days went as my day was meant to go yesterday, but it didn't, which is very freaking annoying. But yeah, so that is where we are at in Love Arranged. I'm obsessed, seeing all the other characters again, and just, yeah, obviously, like I said, some of this coincides alongside other bits and pieces, so she's loving it. But yeah, so that's where I'm at on that one. I think it works out at like 60 something percent. I think I would say 64%. So yeah, that is very good. I'm gonna get myself ready for the day. As I said, I've got a long morning ahead of me, so I need to get myself ready and go in, and then when I come back I need to edit my video that needs to go up for today, get that done and dusted, and then just go from there, really. I do need to do a bunch of stuff, so I'm hopefully going to try and get some of that done, but we'll wait and see what happens. I don't feel like I really spoke to you guys yesterday. I think I only spoke to you yesterday morning, didn't I? Yesterday morning went on a lot longer than planned, and then I come back and I just felt everything in the world just said fuck you. you, and I was really stressed and I just couldn't focus on anything yesterday. Like yesterday afternoon, that I was just mentally not okay, or emotionally, really. I wasn't mentally or emotionally okay, so I kind of took a bit of a step back yesterday afternoon / evening, but I did finish Love Arranged last night and I gave it 4.5 stars. I have loved this book and these characters and the tension that is built between them through the other books, like watching them all finally snap and like fall in place and just understand it was just really, really nice. And you know what, these characters are perfect for each other. They balance each other and they bring out not only the positives in each other, but they also bring out the negatives of each other. But I don't mean it in a bad way. I mean it in a sense where they are then able to explore their issues. They can work with them, they can accept them, they can build on them and make themselves better people from it. So when I say they bring out the negatives, I mean it in like a positive way. Lily is a tough cookie. Lily is a tough cookie and we love Lily, and watching her come back into herself and watching her fight for what she wants, and that was just really, really nice to see, because Lily is very much a character that has just kind of stood back a lot and kind of not really, I'm not going to say not put herself out there because she has, but I mean like she's not really putting herself in positions for people to really worry about her, if that makes sense. So like watching her come into herself and watching her fight and watching her put herself out there in that sense was really nice to see. Lorenzo is a complicated character. Like when you first meet him, obviously you know you only see your basic layers, you've seen your surface layers. So getting to explore him, get deeper into him, his backstory, his history, the whys he perceives the world the way he does, the why he has the actions that he does, why he, things like watching all that and seeing that all unravel, you really, really grow this big understanding of him, and you just grow to love him because he does go through a lot. And then like I said, just kind of digging into it and then into how that made him who he is and why he perceives the world the way he does, why he acts the way he does. Like you just can't help but grow to love him. Okay, you just can't help but love Lorenzo. Okay, we love Lorenzo. I personally do think their story was paced perfectly for them. I think if anything was different about their story, for me personally, it would have ruined them. And obviously, actually, we're never gonna know. But I just think for me, if something, just any little thing within their story was different, I think I wouldn't have loved this book as much as I did. I think everything was the way it was meant to be for them, and it just worked so well. And Lauren Asher's writing just absorbs you from the start. Like you're just in there, you're on the go, and you just fly through it. And yeah, I really love this book. So obviously I'm sad to see the end of this universe and the world and the characters, but you know, I'm also excited to see where she's gonna go next. And you know, you never know, she may make a reappearance over here at some point, so we never know. But yeah, I have finished Love Arranged and I have been obsessed. I was gonna pick up my next book last night, but I just had a massive headache, and like I said yesterday, I was just not mentally or emotionally here. But the next book is Rewind It Back by this Tom Fordy. I think it's Tom Fordy. I think I say Tom Ford sometimes, but I think it's Tom Fordy. So yeah, this is our next book. This is 453 pages. Obviously, I do have it on my Kindle, so I'm gonna read it on my Kindle. But this is Rio's story, and I'm so here for Rio's story. I'm so excited. I'm so ready for Rio's story, and I'm just like, give it to me now. And it's now in my hands, and I can now read it, and I'm like, yes, finally. You see, finally. Don't know why I did that, but yeah, I'm really, really excited for this one. We see Rio obviously throughout the entire book, like the entire series, and he is such an interesting character. Like he's so bubbly, he's out there, he's the banterful one, he's funny, and I'm like, there is more to him, and I just want to see it, and I want to understand him, and now's my chance. So yeah, I will be picking this one up today at some point, but I do have a lot that I need to do, unfortunately, so I need to get onto that, because obviously I didn't manage to do anything yesterday afternoon, because like I said, everything just said fuck you, and I said fuck you back and just broke. So yeah, that's the the gist of today is I need to get things done and I need to get focused and get these bits on the roll and on the go. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. So I don't know when I'm gonna be able to pick that one up, but it'll be at some point, probably this afternoon, evening, if I'm being honest. I can't see it being any sooner, but if it's anything like the other books, it should be a nice easy read and quick. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm gonna get going so I don't rumble anymore, plus I need to change the battery because my camera's gonna die. I have been sat reading Rewind It Back. A lot I didn't do today. I'm still not mentally okay. Mentally I'm still not here, so I don't want it to impact things I do. So I kind of just had a bit of a iffy day, then I had a nice chill bath, and then I've just been sat reading. I made it to chapter 12, page 132 in Rewind It Back. I feel like I'm going to struggle with this title, which is 31%. I am really enjoying this so far. Like, I am enjoying it. And it is quick and it is easy, like I'm absorbed within it. But at the same time, I'm feeling a bit odd about it. And not like necessarily in a bad way. There's just, I said to you guys, I think it was this morning, I said that I'm interested in Ray's story, like to see this other side of him, like, because you know, he is such a beautiful character, he's playful, and like to see this other side of him, to see deeper. And we are seeing that. Obviously this is a second chance, so we're getting two different timelines of like meeting and the relationship, and like, you know, the present is very tension building and all that, and like, so you know, I'm expecting to see these different sides of him, and it's just weird. It's not like my brain can't compute it, seeing these other sides of him. It just doesn't feel right. And the funny thing is that when you have these different situations and he's acting in these different ways and doing these different things that you don't normally see from him, you haven't seen from him in the other books, even he registers that it's weird. Even everyone around him registers that it's weird. It's like we all can't compute this. Like, this is a different Rio. So it's just really weird, and I like, my brain just can't register that we're seeing these different sides, even though I expect it and I know it's happening, and like I knew that this was gonna be the case, we were gonna see deeper of him, but like my brain just can't seem to accept it, and it's really weird. Like, it's really, really weird. Like, my brain's just like, this isn't Rio, this isn't him. And like, I just, yeah, like I said, I knew we were seeing different layers of him, but it just feels so odd to my brain. But yeah, like, as I was saying, obviously this is a second chance romance as well, so obviously we're getting two different time frames of him and Hallie meeting, and like seeing obviously the difference in them. Naturally, the second time the re-meet is going to be very tension filled, and I have theories about why things went to shit for them. I have theories and little things that have been said, and if it's what I think it is, I'm gonna be very frustrated myself for guessing it very early on, but B, I'm also gonna be very frustrated that was what caused them to end. Do you know what I mean? Like, if it's that, it's gonna be very frustrating in two ways. But obviously seeing this difference between them and in the ages and their relationships at these two different points, it's very jarring. Like I said, I have an inklings on what went down, and if it is that, I can to a degree understand, but then also to a degree think, well, why the fuck should that have mattered to an extent? It's weird. It's weird. I don't, because if it is what I think it is, it does matter, obviously, naturally, and it is a very, very shitty thing, but it's like, why should that affect their relationship to the degree that it did? I'm trying not to give spoilers, and like I said, it may not even be that, but if it is, my brain's just like, yeah, it's just one of those things, but we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, so seeing these two different sides is really interesting, and obviously Hallie we hadn't met before, so obviously I'm seeing these two different sides of her for the first time, and it's like, again, would I say jarring, because like when you see this younger version of her and her now, and like you're noticing all these differences, and it's like, what's happened to our Hallie? Like, what's happened to her? Because again, it's a little bit like Ria. It just feels very unlike her. It just doesn't feel right. And like I said, I'm only just meeting her. I'm only just learning both sides of her. Like, I'm only just knowing her. But it still feels odd to see the side of her that doesn't feel like her and doesn't feel right. And like having that for both characters, like for Rio, like I knew we'd get a deeper look. I knew there was more to him. I knew he was going to be like an internally complex character. But my brain can't compute it. And it just feels odd. So yeah, it's really weird. But I am enjoying it and I am absorbed and I'm like kind of flying through this book, I would say. I haven't been reading for too long and I've been picking up a bit on and off-ish. So to already be like 30% into its night is pretty good. But yeah, that's where I'm sitting at the moment. It's a weird vibe going on in my head right now. My head's a little bit like confused. Do you know what? My head feels like it's a Rubik's Cube and it's trying to all slot into place. Into like the right places. I feel like that's what my brain is right now. It's like a Rubik's Cube and it just keeps twisting and turning, trying to get everything to slot in where it's meant to be. You know? I don't think I've ever used that metaphor. That's a new one. A very, very correct one. I should probably use that more often. Because that's very correct for my brain. Anywho, besides the point. Yeah, but besides obviously the weird feeling, if I was to take that out, I am really loving and enjoying it. I am enjoying getting to see this other side of Rio and to explore him more. Like, I'm really enjoying that. I'm just really hoping this weird feeling's gonna rub off soon. I feel like it could based on the present chapter we just had. So I think I'm going back into the past next. Yeah, I'm back in, oh shit. Hello. Don't break these. Yeah, so I'm going back into the past now, a few years later from when we very first meet them. So yeah, it's interesting. I'm just really hoping that weird feeling's gonna rub off. But like I said, with the present we've just had, I feel like I could slowly be starting to get to it. So let's hope it's not much longer. It is, what is the time? It is 10:21. I'm just getting myself settled and cozy. I'm just going to take my meds, sort myself out, everything, get comfy, and I'm just going to read until I drop. It's pretty much the point of today, is to read until I drop. Yeah, just sit, get comfy, read a good chunk of this hopefully before I drop, and maybe then finish this one tomorrow, because I'm a little bit behind on my goals. If you guys have watched my November year, try and do 30 books in 30 days. We're on day 7 and I've read. I'm a little bit behind, but it's okay. So I do need to pick my game up a little bit, but it's all good. It's all good. We're fine. I've got this. I'm not stressed at all. So I'm gonna come in and do like a really quick update. I don't think I actually spoke to you guys today, but I have been, obviously last night and today, been reading it, Rewind It Back. I'm on chapter 37, page 374. So I'm really close to finishing this book. I've got 80-ish odd pages left, so I'm gonna get myself like comfy and cozy and get myself changed and get settled into bed and just finish the book off. So I'm 82%. So yeah, I'm gonna come finish off, and I am really loving this book and the characters and things that's now finally starting to feel right, and the characters starting to feel right, and they're kind of like Rose feeling, I don't, normal again. I feel like for lack of a better time I'm gonna go for the word normal compared to obviously where we first started out with him. I would say there's still a bit more to go, but I think I've had the main reason behind why. I don't think there's any more to come about the why they broke up, and I was kind of half right. Like, I was, one of the reasons I was in the right direction of, like I said, I think I've got it all. I don't think there's anything else to be said about it. We'll wait and see. But I think, like I said, I was half right, and it is really frustrating. And then when you kind of play the other elements and aspects into it, you kind of like, oh, okay, yes. Like, yes, okay, I can see it, and like I can understand you were kids at the time, but like at the same time, like, why? Like, it's still very much like what I said, like, it's like I can get it and understand that you were kids and like all this at the time it happening, so I can see why you ended up how it did, but at the same time I'm almost like, it didn't really need to. Does that make sense? I feel like it does. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. So obviously I'm just like rounding it off now, getting like the kind of conclusion parts of the story there is still a little bit more to go, and I'm just I feel so bad for Rio at this moment in time because he's very, I don't want to say torn, but he is into a degree torn. So I'm just hoping it's all going to fall into place for him, which I think it is, but I just feel so bad for him right now with it all so up in his. But yeah, I am loving this book. I wouldn't say though I'm loving it as much as I thought I was going to for Rio's story. I thought I was going to be really, really obsessed with it, but I haven't been, but I am still loving it. But yeah, I'm going to give you guys a more final round of thoughts and opinions tomorrow morning. It is currently 11:30 and we've got the kids tonight, so everyone's now starting to settle down. So I just wanted to do a little quick update for you guys. But yeah, so I'm going to sit and finish this off, and then depending on if I doze off or not, if I'm feeling quite awake or if I'm falling asleep, I will start 𝖜𝖊𝖑𝖈𝖔𝖒𝖊. And try and get a decent chunk of that through. I'm trying to remember if I've read these on my Kindle or if I read these physically. Yep, I read them physically. Besides the point, really is besides the point. But yeah, I might then try and pick up this book as well tonight. If not, I'll leave it till tomorrow. I do have sprints tomorrow on YouTube, so we're going to spend the day sprinting, and I'm just going to take the day to myself to just chill and read, because I haven't had one of those days in what feels like forever. I think I had a bit of one of those days last Sunday, but it didn't really turn to much. So I'm just gonna have a day to myself to read. I'm gonna build sprints, but it's gonna be chilled, and I really need it right now, mentally and emotionally. I need a me day. I finished Rewind It Back. I did have to finish the last little bit of this morning. I am currently on sprints as well, but I have really loved this. Like I said last night, I haven't been obsessed with it as I thought I was going to be for Rio's story, but I have still really, really loved it and enjoyed it. I'm thinking of 4.5 for this book. Yeah, Rio, it was so nice to see this other side of him. Obviously, it felt very weird at the start and it just didn't feel right, but it was still really nice to see. And as we got closer to the end, it started to feel right, and it started to feel like we had our Rio back, so that was really nice. I feel like as soon as things started to slot into his life in the right way, he started to slot into place as well. And yeah, I just really loved him. �カ is a very interesting character, and getting to explore her was very interesting, and their history. And you know, last night when I said, oh, I've definitely guessed like half of it, hopefully it's, you know, it's not fully the way I thought it was, like, but I still have things to go. I was fully correct. I was fully correct. And it did get me a little bit teary-eyed because obviously the whole scene and like, and all that. And just, yeah, I was fully correct. And like I said, now I know more of the story around it and the history around it, I can see why it ended up the way it did for them. But I'm so glad they found their way back, because they did not deserve to have that ending the first time around. They should have been together the entire time. They didn't deserve it. So I am so happy they found each other again, and it just felt like a lot of deja vu, but in the good way, with like their meetings and things. So yeah, I did really love that. And like I said, 𝖭𝖫 is an interesting character. I loved getting to explore her, and she definitely brings out this she brings out the side of Rio that we've always known, but she brings out the pure side of it, like the true side of it. Like, knowing Rio now how I know him, like, he still had that side of him that he was with her, but like certain parts of it now feel fake. So like, to see it like the true version of it, the pure version of it, which 𝖭𝖫 brings from him, I love that. I loved her as a character. She was a really good one, and she slotted in really nicely with like the big friend group, so I was very happy with that. The writing, again, once I was able to sit and read it, I did like just fly through it and absorb it and stuff, and it does immerse you straight in there. So yeah, I have really loved this book. Like I said, not as much as I thought I was going to for Rio's story, but still very much did love it and enjoy it. So yeah, we are second book down for this video. I'm on a good roll so far. I'm on a good roll so far. I'm going to do that review bit before I settle down with our next book, 𝖜𝖊𝖑𝖈𝖔𝖒 by Anna Huang. I don't know if I pronounced her surname right, but we're going to keep going with it. So this is 𝖕𝖑's story and Anya's story, and this is going to be interesting from like the little bits we know of 𝖕𝖑. So to explore him is going to be an interesting one. Like I said, he's meant to be the best man to Anya's fiance, and it's just, yeah, it's gonna be a good time. Hopefully, fingers crossed, a good time. So yeah, I'm gonna go do that review stuff, get that done and dusted, and start King of Envy. And yeah, like I said, I'm on sprints. I plan on being on sprints most of the day. Hopefully I can get a good chunk of this book done. I'm really like hoping maybe I can like squeeze the entire book in, but it's 510 pages. So, you know, it's a lot for me to try and squeeze in one day, and it's just come up to 12 o'clock, so very unlikely, but your girl's gonna give it a go and see what she can do. But yeah, we're doing well. So I've been sat reading King of Envy. It's just coming up to 25 to 6. I'm on chapter 25, page 220, so I've literally just been sat devouring this book, so I'm very nearly halfway through, and I'm really enjoying it so far. It's really interesting, these characters, and exploring these characters, and it's interesting seeing his backstory and seeing these sides of him and getting this deeper look. He's definitely like, you know, a mysterious grumpy guy still, but learning some of the whys behind it is very intriguing, and the connections Miss Hong does with our other characters and other bits we've seen. She's really good at that, I must say. She's very good at that, and the little connections in her stories and books. And yeah, it's interesting getting to see her. She's a tough cookie, and from the bits I've read so far, she does go through a lot. I still think we've got some more to explore there with her, but obviously she is like an entirely new character to us. I think we only first meet her in King of Sloth, I think, possibly, correct me if I'm wrong. So getting to finally like explore her and see her kind of like this whole new character in the world and the group and stuff, it's very interesting. But she does slot in quite nicely, even though she is new in a way. I don't really know how else to describe it. I feel like I'm butchering this explanation, but yeah, she is interesting to explore, and things are finally building up in the tension. The scene I just read, I need the full-on fuck it moment. Like, we had a fuck it moment, but I need the full blown fuck it moment is what I need. But the tension has been slowly building for them, and seeing �パ and how he reacts with her is great. I love it. Their dynamics at the start, it was very difficult for me to describe their dynamics at the start, because it was like they were on a pendulum, like the hot and cold, obviously because of their situation and, you know, how they feel about each other but shouldn't be feeling about each other and stuff. So it was all very hit and miss, which made it very hard to get a grasp on their dynamics and to explore that and to like really understand it. But now things are kind of leveling out to a degree, and we're seeing them kind of match a little bit more in that level. It's definitely interesting. They've definitely got a nice balance to each other, and they really kind of ground each other in different ways. So yeah, I am loving that, and like I said, tension is building, and I'm ready for the final big fuck it moment. That is what I am ready for. So yeah, I'm loving this, but I am on my last sprint. I've got about 47 minutes left of it, so I'm just going to sit and read as much as I can, and then yeah, we're then going to call it down sprints, but we're going to continue reading and just smash out as much of this book as I can today as possible. So last night I did finish King of Envy by Hannah Hong. I gave this a 4.5. I have really loved this one. I loved exploring the characters, like �㑑, getting to see a deeper level of him, and you know, finally get this understanding of him as a character. And you know, I knew he'd been through some shit based on like little things we'd seen in the other books and stuff, but like didn't realise just how much he had gone through. So being able to understand that, and then why he perceives the world he perceives it, and like it was just so interesting getting to see him. Anya is an intriguing character, and watching her like open herself up to this other side of life, like because she goes through so much through this book, but she's always really viewed life in one direction. And you know, it's not like she's viewed it as like there's only good in the world, but like she's obviously not realised just how dark the world can get, and obviously she's now finally opened up to that and realised that, especially after what she goes through and stuff. So watching that was a little bit on the refreshing side, because it meant like she was like kind of, I don't want to say naive, I don't think she's never really been naive, but it just kind of like opened her eyes a little bit more. As a couple, they worked so well. Okay, they do work so well together. They bring each other out their shells, they balance each other. Like, I was so happy that the situation around the marriage wasn't anything different than what it was, because it would have been, I don't want to say weird, it just would have been awkward. I mean, this is a little bit awkward enough as it is, but it would have been like worse had it gone down a different route, but thankfully it was the way it was. So watching them both battle through that, I guess you could say, and like fight through that and come out the other side, I was so happy they got their happy ending. So happy for it. I love all the connections that Anna Hong makes throughout her entire books, and the connections from this one into the other books in this series made me step back a little bit, you know. It made me like step back a bit, but I am excited for the next one because we've had little glimpses of the couples in the next book, so I am excited for that one. But yeah, I really loved this. Hooked from the start, absorbed straight in, and just obsessed. I really loved this one. I would probably say, because I was discussing my like tier of the series yesterday on Sprints, I still say King of Sloth is at the bottom, and then I've always been torn between King of Wrath and King of Greed. Now this one's in the picture. King of Pride is still my top book, I would say. King of Pride is still my top book. And then I think these three are just going to constantly be switching based on what mood I'm in. If I'm being honest. I think so. I think that's going to be the case, you know, because I've loved them all just as much. But yeah. If I had to pinpoint, right, Sky, pinpoint. King of Pride, King of Greed, King of Envy, King of Wrath, King of Sloth. I might say that if I had to really pinpoint, but I feel like Wrath, Greed and Envy are just going to be switching around in there depending on the day. But yeah, I have really enjoyed this one. So that is it for our anticipated reads. Every single one of these books was rated 4.5 stars. That's a pretty solid shout, you know. These ones clearly did not let me down one bit. To rate them all a solid 4.5 across the board. Fingers crossed if I read any more of my anticipated reads this year that they don't let me down. Because we're on to a solid start. I can't remember what it was on the first video, how it turned out. I'll leave a link to Butterfly if anybody wants to go check out the first video and see how those first 3 anticipated releases turned out. I'll leave it there. But yes, thank you guys so much for joining us. Thank you for watching. If you guys have read any of these books, let me know what your thoughts and opinions were, if they're on your radar. Also let me know, and I'm going to catch you guys in the next video. So don't forget to keep smiling, be kind, and keep reading. Bye guys. I do have the physical in it, round it back, and then hopefully, oh fucking hell, that scared the shit out of me. You know, I'm trying to do 30 days. 30 books in 30 days. I'm trying to do 30 days. I'm trying to live 30 days. That'd be great.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.